Hello and welcome back to another SOLIDWORKS instructional video, and today it's all about simulation. Specifically, we want to analyze what's going to happen to this pulley on the backside of this engine when it's got the force of that belt pulling down on it. So this is going to be a real basic introduction to simulation. If you've not used it before or you're very new to it, you're going to find this beneficial. So first up, we'll go to our add-ins and we're going to select simulation from the list. In my case, it's already turned on here. I use simulation all the time, so I've got it on from startup. I've got my simulation toolbar, just like any other tool in SOLIDWORKS. So I can drop this down, say new study, and in here, depending on your license type, that'll determine what studies are open to use. So static is the only one I've got, just as well, that's the only one I want to use. And we now get a feature tree in the left-hand side. We've still got the top original feature tree, but now we've got the simulation tree underneath it. And let me show you how I generally navigate through this. I'll start at the top and I'll work my way to the bottom. So the top is basically all about material. Now, if you haven't used simulation before, you may not be aware, simulation has got a rich library full of materials ready for you to use, and you can see they're all packed with the engineering properties that we need to conduct a proper analysis. Now, that's not to say you can create your own materials as well. If you'd like to see that in a future video, just let me know in the comments section below. From there, let's step down, connections. Now, this is actually something that we're not going to have in this study. We're keeping it simple. But essentially, that's things like our pins or bolts or bearings, springs, stuff like that, stuff that you won't always model. Now, what we are going to have, however, is a fixture in here, and we're going to go for the simplest type, which is just fixed geometry. Essentially, anywhere that we apply this to is not going to be able to move. So in my case here, I'm going to apply it to each of the bolt holes. So we'll work our way around and get them in. Next, external loads. Well, again, it's a bit like the fixtures, isn't it? We've got lots available to us, but in our case, we're keeping it simple. We're going with just a straight up force. And for this force, I'm going to apply it to each of the faces where that belt would come into contact with it. So select each, being careful not to pick up an edge, and I'm going to choose the selected direction. This is the direction I want the load to go in. Rather than being a compressive load, I want it all going in one direction. And as I click through the different force directions, you can see we get a visual preview of what exactly is happening. So this is the one I want. I'm going to add in my 450 newtons. We'll reverse it so it's pulling downwards, just like that belt would be. And there we go, as simple as that. Visual cues are really handy. We can always keep in mind the fixtures and the loads we've got in any given study. Now, the last thing to do is create a mesh. Now, meshing is a huge topic. I could create several videos on this alone. But let's put it this way. What it does is it basically breaks the model down into constituent elements, and it's these elements that allow the analysis to take place. How dense or how fine you make the mesh will have an impact on the results of the study, but more on that later. Let's just go ahead and run this and see what the results are like that we get out. And you can see SOLIDWORKS is really quite quick when it comes to solving studies like this. It's not that complex, but still, it's nice and quick. Okay, and there we go. We get that symbolistic simulation look to the model. But one thing I do notice is my chart here is in scientific values. Now, if you want to, you can go into the chart options, as I'll tend to do, and set that to floating value. Just makes it a little easier to read. And under the definition, I notice it's in pascals right now. I'm going to change that over to megapascals and hit OK. And there we go. Everything, to me at least anyway, just makes a little bit more sense. It's easier to read at a glance. Now, you can see the results here. They're a little bit 90s computer game. They're a little bit sporadic in their appearance. They don't look very accurate. Now, the reason that's happening is, well, remember when we meshed this model, we just went in, clicked mesh, we didn't change any settings. Now, if I return to this, let's take another look. I've got a slider that allows me to refine this mesh, essentially make it more dense on the model. And in doing so, what will happen is the result will become more accurate. So you can see that's far more dense now. Let's go ahead and run this again. And thanks to the wizardry of video editing, we can speed this up. We don't need to wait on it to solve. That is the downside to more accurate, denser meshes, is they take longer to solve. So what we always try and do is get a good balance between accuracy and the time it takes to solve. Now, given that this is a more refined mesh, chances are the results are going to be more accurate if we've set things up correctly. Now, we'll produce more videos on simulation. We'll get into more detail. This is just a quick initial look at it. If you're interested in getting a simulation license or finding out more, you'll reach me in the email address in the description below. Thanks for watching.